Hi guys, whatever we're going to do on 1st October, this video is for the assessors, especially new assessors. Chitra knows all the aspects, so I don't need to address this to her. So to start with, this is the first assessment sheet of the group game, where the challenge is to see the different activities, because there are 3 to 5 types of activities in that game. So you are requested to note down all your points on a separate paper. Ensure that the students who are standing should stand in a sequence of their roll numbers, so that you can note down the observations. It is very difficult, if there's a shifting and then you are not able to write the observation for a right person. So it is very important that they need to do this activity in a proper sequence, and you are able to record those all observations, and based on all these observations you need to write down the points in the sheet, the positive behavior which is demonstrated by each individual, especially on a decision making skill. So this is an example which is given. So how he decided, how he was in a crucial moment of that game activity, how was he was taking decisions, was he calculative, was he assertive. Assertive part will come in communication skills. So here you could see I have written good instructions, drives the group, listen to the others, especially if there are two panel members to analyze this group game, then one should observe and help the other assessor to write it down the points. And this is how myself and Pednekar sir we did for this role. Most of the times assessors, when writing the points, they miss out to write the name of the assessor. So I have written the name there, and I have written the date and everything is there. The name and number is already there, but name of the assessor is blank, so it has to be filled. As far as communication skill is concerned, you have to write with assertive, passive and everything. Any rating which you do out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you need to ensure that if you are writing below 3 ratings, you need to have a contra behavior written. You may not written positive behavior. If it is not seen, then actually you will do low rating. Please do not give any such rating where there is no comment written, or there is a low rating and you have written something positive there. Similarly, like if you see communication skill, I have written 4, I did not find any contra behavior, so I have written NA. So if it is, don't keep it blank, write NA there. Similarly, ability to work independently, I have written that he is dominant in group, advises the groups, gives safety instructions, so all those things which I have observation I have written, and I have written some contra behavior, but I have rated average because I couldn't decide whether I should give 2 or 4, so I have written average. So this is the way the sheet has to be filled by the assessor. It also happens during the internet. This is internet issue. This is getting saved here. So if you see whatever I will type it here, it is getting saved. So please observe this this part, whether this is getting saved there or not. If there is any internet issue, whatever you are typing is not going to get saved there. So this is the challenge as far as group game is concerned. Then you go for role play. So here I think the number and everything is there, but due to internet issue, the assessor names or the details are not written, or somebody who is not computer savvy couldn't write anything. Now if this is not written, the final score sheet is not going to have these details coming up there, because all these details which are there are automatically coming in the final goal sheets. So ensure that you write the name without fail, write the date, today's that 1st October, you need to write it there. Write down all the behaviors and this, or as I said, and I think in the role play you have decision making skills, ability to analyze, and the role play is very critical, where you're going to do that role with him, and you need to ask that student, because sometimes students are confused what exactly the role they are going to play. So maybe because of their lack of understanding of English, or sometimes they are not understood the case. So please ask them what is the case, and what is the role you are going to play, and you are going to play a tough role in that. So naturally the decision making skills of the person is going to check, ability to analyze or solve, how he solves the problems, how he's helping you, how he facilitates to solve the problem, although you are a tough role player there, and how he's going to communicate to you so that he resolves that problem, and you are a person who is going to play the tough role there. So this is where, again, take care of all the ratings and fill it up immediately after the role play. That is very important. Then in basket is going to be covered by Devdatta, so don't write anything here. Then you have behavioral event interview. So there is a separate sheet which is shared with the CV and all. So you can go into the details of it and understand the conceptual clarity, decision making skills, and communication skills. Again, here ability to work, because you may ask some questions based on the given questionnaire which has been given by Dev to them, and those questions you can ask. Especially this conceptual clarity is a very important part, where you can ask that person, because the students part 1, they have not undergone all the concepts because they have just completed 2 or 3 months. So you can ask them their graduate subjects, which are the subjects were interesting to them, where they got good marks, which are their like subjects, and ask some questions about them. If they are able to demonstrate the things properly, if they are able to remember the syllabus, if they know the subject very well, then you can note down those points here. So conceptual clarity is only in this section of behavioral event interview. So you have to be very careful while rating them on a conceptual clarity. Are they clear? Are the principles of that topics they are able to explain to you? Can they, even if the concept, that subject is not known to you, like somebody is from physics and he likes the physics and he's explaining some physics concept, so you can ask the syllabus of that, and you can say which one was interesting and can you share or teach me that subject. So that way the conceptual clarity can be checked. So don't go on any questionnaire part of or some projects or something of that. Go into the conceptual clarity of the subjects which they like during their graduations or whatever they have studied in that. And if they like that, they should know the clarity, they should have the clarity, and there you can rate this. The decision making skills on the projects, whatever decisions they have taken, how independent were they. So all those questions you can ask based on that questionnaire which has been filled by them in advance. Communication skill, again, that is where you will be able to do those things very effectively. I'm sure you will be able to analyze whether he is able to present his point properly in the interview or not. And the last is ability to work independently in teams. So this is again critical to analyze, because you need to see what projects they have done. If they have not done any projects, please find out where they have done independent projects and then assess them on that. If they are not working any team projects, please write down the contributor that they have not worked in a team projects anywhere, so they haven't got an exposure. So just rate them on ability to work independent. Naturally that rating will be low, because this is a combination of ability to work independent and in teams. So this is where important part is there, but ensure that your assessor name, date has to be written, because this is where assessors most of the times forget. Most of the times they make error that they write decision making point in the conceptual clarity, or sometimes conceptual clarity point they write in communication skills. So ensure that whatever you write has to be very clear, because finally you are going to see this score sheet summary. Now this score sheet summary is the one where all these points, whatever is written there, you can see whatever is written there has come in this automatically. Even the rating averages are going to come out. If those averages are not going to come out, weighted, not weighted average, but the total of 3 and divided by how many number of activities covering those skills. So if the conceptual skill is only 1 in the behavioral interview, only that rating is going to come here. So this is all going to come here automatically. So the toughest work starts at the end. If some assessor has not filled the things properly, the things are not going to come down here properly, and then there will be a problem for the final feedback person, and you are at that moment at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, you are also in a hurry what to do in that situation. It is very important that all assessors should fill all those earlier sheets properly. Then all those things can come here, and then you get the complete picture. Now this is where the final feedback session starts. So the students who comes is always new to you, because we are not repeating any students in any of this earlier 3 activities. So 4th activity, you will have a student who is new to you. So you get a mix of all 3 assessors here, and then you are going to give the feedback. Whatever is there, you're going to write, explain to him, okay, this is what the feedback which you have got, and then you will take him to the final action plan. Now this is again critical, because here you have to tick mark the activities which are mentioned there. So you will find there are Negative indicators, we have some positive indicators also added for you, which are not seen here, but it will be there in the 1st October sheet. So ensure that you tick those activities based on this feedback. Based on this feedback, whatever you have got, you have to write down those indicators. And most important is this activity, where you have to write it down, what is important thing which they need to do it. Ensure that if nothing is written and you want to write something, you can type it here below that you can type it, so, and you can put a tick here, so you'll get a tick on that. So whichever not applicable, don't tick any yes or no here, just whichever is applicable you can write tick there. And if you want to add anything, so I have said that you can write here and then tick a yes there. So this is where you end the feedback. The feedback should finish in 15 to max 30 minutes. And in case anything already the student is doing anything on these activities, I prefer that you should write down yes there if he's already doing some activities on that. So you need to support that if he's already doing, so that he can implement it consistently. So thanks. Ensure that you do the justice of all the activities, and especially feedback session is very important. We got feedback from the students last time that some feedbacks happen very fast because there was a time issue. So please ensure the things on time, your all activities and entering of the details, contra behavior, positive behavior, you need to write it properly. So I request all of you, to ensure the quality work in terms of filling this sheet. The rest part, I think Devdatta will be able to explain you online as well. But this video will help you, not to have those mistakes. So please see this video again and again. Thanks.